the People's Podcast. What's up, y'all? This is DJ Busby.
And it's your boy JKD.
And this is the People's Podcast, and we may or may not be highly under the influence coming from a boat ride right now. We may or may not have a completely unprepared show prepared for you guys because our special guest flopped last minute. And yeah, we here. I mean, good thing this is right up our alley because no shows we don't prepare for, so we got to come here and figure it the F out. All right. The People's Podcast, welcome. What do you say, Neil?
You sound like you're dead, bro. Light up yourself.
Well, I'm lit right now, and I'm just like, I'm trying, all right, guys?
I hear you.
Because the people that come Monday, bear message on my phone. Yo, where's the podcast? So it's either you take this, it's either you take this situation or no podcast. One of the two, all right? What do you say? How was your weekend?
It was good, man. Busy. Let's just say that. You know, a lot of things are going on right now. Preparing for the summer, but you know, it's good, man.
Easy. So you're doing a lot of housework and whatnot?
A lot of housework. Wife actually got a daytime job.
Oh.
So a lot of things are changing, you know.
That changes the game for you.
It does change it. So it opens up my weekends again to take more bookings, DJ-wise. So that means more income, and you know. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Dope. And when does that take in place? Soon? Like
very soon. Maybe she starts the days on next week, Monday.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
And for as long as I've known you, that's always been a thing. Like,
yes.
She works nights, you work days, so
right.
it really has been difficult.
Yeah. So now that she works days, you know, I get to see her in the morning before she leaves, and when she comes home, you know.
Got you.
Yeah, man. So
that's dope. You did any gigs this weekend or no?
Did I? I had, yeah, bro. My event. I totally forgot.
Whoa,
you were
shows how important that one is to.
While you were out touring the country, I had to stay home and did a party. Okay, so
I made it for that party.
You did.
Just in the nick of time too.
Well, yes, I did. I had my own party, Bonfyah. Wicked event. People said they enjoyed the vibes. A lot of BS in the background, but you know that it comes with whatever we do, right?
Comes with the territory,
right? So, nah, man, it was good, man. For the second one, it was really good.
It showed growth, so there was more people this time than last.
Yeah,
that's one.
Yeah.
Two, can we all please show appreciation for the fact that, you know, you had things like s'mores,
right? Yeah.
You had things like sparklers, fireworks, which you're not necessarily telling people that is included in your ticket.
Right.
You had a fire breather. Is that, first of all, is that the appropriate term for this
I
profession?
Guess so. I guess.
I don't want to be miscalling this guy's. I keep saying it, but I'm like, is this what it's like, you know, literally called?
Yeah, true.
Fire breather. But y'all get the point. Somebody out there with bottles of gas or whatever they use and just taking fire out of what's those marshmallows on his thing they kept putting in his mouth? Pause.
I don't know. I don't even know what they were, bro. They're like cotton. I don't even know
something. Anyway, either way, big up yourself because I don't find like people appreciate that. It just becomes entitlement and expectations.
Yeah.
But like you pay a certain price, you're not even expecting these things and you get it.
No.
You know, and then where's the praise and thank you after the fact?
Right. That fire breather was not cheap. Let's just say that.
Oh gosh.
Again though, like the reason why I got him is because the fact that I want this to grow, right?
Yeah.
So I'm investing in now.
Yeah.
And you know, like when people see the photos, when people see the videos and stuff of this person, you know, breathing fire, they're like, "Yo, I want to reach next time." You know what I'm saying? So it's more of an investment now for later. So, but it was not cheap.
And if you know JKD, I am sure he went to all ends to try and get a discount from this guy. He probably ain't get no discount. I'm just saying.
Why you putting me up?
That's you, no? You acting like the people don't know you by now. This guy. But facts, at least you know you did what you had to do, and that shows you're not just doing it for the quick pay.
Right.
It's facts.
Yeah.
So what did the people message you? How was a?
Yeah, man. I got a lot of response saying like, "Yo," because to be honest, it was a lot of people's first time. Because of the first one, and everybody saw the videos and all that stuff. They're like, "Yo, I want to go to Bonfyah."
Yeah.
And so it created a lot of hype. I sold out on online tickets maybe like 2 days before the event, and then day of, bro, nonstop calls. Hey, you selling tickets at the door? I'm like, yes. Like, you know, it's been like it was like that the whole day of. So,
which is unfortunately how it's like continued to be after all, you know.
You would think people would learn, huh?
And get your tickets early
Right.
and stop the whole last minute confusion, but no.
Yeah.
Ticket sales always, and it never fails. It picks up the week of,
Yep.
day of.
Yep.
That's when you truly see your numbers for the party.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a successful event nonetheless.
Yes, it was. It was good.
Big up yourself.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll get to that part of my weekend eventually. But yeah, most of this podcast gonna be my goddamn weekend. I had one of the most crazy weekends of my life this past weekend. All for a little trip to Ottawa. Fam.
To the nation's capital.
Yeah. Which is BS. We should be the nation. Like, we're turned up. Ottawa. I would even pick Montreal over them. Like, that's Ottawa. Either way, big up Ottawa, you know. Bruh, let me tell you, I'm one of those guys. I don't watch the news.
Right.
I don't watch the weather reports. Sometimes when I'm going out, I may just say a quick, "Hey Siri, what's the weather today?"
We all know this. You don't read it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I get to the airport now. This is at like 1-ish, right?
Okay.
I got there about 12:30.
This is on what day?
The Saturday.
The Saturday. Okay. Okay.
So prior to that, the Wednesday I had a roller skating event to go and DJ.
Right.
Thursday we recorded this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Friday I had Flex's NDA party.
Right.
And then Saturday now I head to the airport for noon.
Right.
Mind you, I did not get sleep the night before.
Damn.
I may have got 2-3 hours sleep. I get to the airport about 12:30. Check in, no line whatsoever.
Okay.
So I'm like, this is smooth sailing.
Right.
Thank you. Check in, I go and sit by the windows and I just look outside. Bro, outside looks like any normal day.
Right. Right.
Sun out, like it was just fine.
Right.
Nothing was a problem. Next thing I know, I'm hearing beep, 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 beep. Everybody's phone is going off with this Amber Alert. So I'm thinking it's somebody you got kidnapped again, and what am I supposed to do over here in Toronto Pearson?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I check the thing now, and it says weather advisory. So I find that very strange.
Right.
A Amber Alert for weather? We not accustomed to that.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, it's the first one that we've got. So I'm wondering why I'm getting this thing. Bro, I kid you not. It was like I looked outside. It was perfect 1 minute. 10 minutes later, I turned back the exact same way.
Right.
Outside looked black. And I couldn't even see like steps ahead of me.
Right.
The rain was coming down like crazy. You couldn't see buildings in the area.
Yeah.
The workers had to like be rushed inside. You could see stuff flying around. It was crazy scary.
Yeah.
It started to look like goddamn the Wizard of Oz at one point with everything.
Right.
So I'm like freaking out now.
Yeah.
I have a Amber Alert for the weather. I'm looking next to me, seeing a near hurricane,
Right.
and I'm supposed to be going up into the air to fly in this.
Yeah.
So obviously, you know, with that being said, all the planes canceled.
Right.
So it's not just myself on this flight going from Toronto. Riggo Suave was also going to Ottawa from Toronto.
Right.
He played another party the night before, which we ended up going to at the end to check him and Kevin Crown.
Right. Yeah.
Riggo too, telling me in the airport as we're dealing with all the canceled flight and confusion, he's like, "Yo, bro, I didn't even get sleep last night."
Damn.
Telling me about a scenario where, like, you know, he misplaced his phone,
Right.
had to go Uber to get that, and then go to the airport,
Damn.
and didn't have time to sleep. So like these are the type of intricate things that nobody ever knows or sees. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So fast forward now, I tell Riggo, I see him in the airport. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go to customer service, see what's going on. Get to customer service. Riggo joins me in line now, and then we talking. We trying to figure out, okay, what's the next step? We're realizing this whole plane now has to go to customer service. So we in some long line, and we're realizing they're telling every single person that's in line, hey, you got to call into customer service. We can't do anything here for you. So I'm like, we just waited in this line for like 40 minutes
For them to say that.
for them to tell us to call in. Call in to who? You? We're standing right here. Let me deal with it now. But nah, they have to call in this number. So Riggo's there, and Riggo's kind of getting cheese because when those type of things happen, he's saying you as the talent shouldn't be dealing with that.
Right.
And especially the person that booked the flights is supposed to be the one making the phone calls.
Right.
But he said despite all of that, he knows the situation's like crazy, but he's dealing with it.
Yeah.
So he on the phone with his manager now. Then they call in Air Canada. They told us we're on a 20-minute hold on the phones, and they'll give us a call back. That 20 minutes turned into like almost an hour, 55 minutes or something. So we sitting there like, what are we going to do?
Right.
Because we can't even get hold of somebody to move us on our next flight. So the promoter in Ottawa now, who is from Montreal, he said his brethren lives in Toronto and is driving up to Ottawa.
Right.
So if we wanted a ride, let we do that. Riggo standing there and he's saying, nah, F that.
Right.
Like, if in my contract, it says a flight.
Right.
So I don't know about this pickup, like somebody's coming to pick me up and whatnot.
Right.
So the guy now he's on standby outside of Pearson waiting for us to figure out our situation and then decide if we're going with them and we drive up or if we're just going to catch the next flight. Right. But because of the delay, this guy's sitting outside the airport now.
Right.
Bro. So next thing Riggo's saying, yeah, nah, I'm just going to wait and see what the flight says and go on that. Okay. I'm there like, but the guy's outside. The storm looked crazy. We're on the land. Why don't we just take the flight?
Right.
And at first, it seemed kind of like he wasn't hearing about the driving situation. Yeah. And I only say this story as a lesson that I learned. I say it to say, some people could have looked at Riggo a certain type of way. Like, yeah, you just want to fly. Like you don't. What do you mean you don't want to drive or go in a car? Like. But Riggo spelled it out to me. He's like, no, because in my contract it says a flight. Right. You are telling me to go up into somebody's car that I have no idea about. And I don't know who this person is like that. Right. I don't know them from anybody on the street. I don't know how they drive. This person could be a maniac on the road and something could happen and my life is at stake. You know what I'm saying? So like he put those type of things into perspective for me. Right. So even though it may come off as in a certain type of way that talent could be, he's like, there's rules and things with this kind of stuff. Right. And then he's like, furthermore, on top of that, I shouldn't even have to be calling Air Canada myself. Right. The promoter's supposed to be doing that. And if you want to say, oh, well, why can't you pick up the phone and call customer service? Well, at the same time, like I'm doing all this bouncing around, running around, trying to figure out this flight. Right. When you're the one that booked it. Right. Right. And as the talent, I shouldn't have to be doing these things because I'm now expected to come to your city and perform at my best when I'm doing all this running around and calling and stuff and trying to figure things out. Right. And I heard him because I'm in the same boat now. Right. Most people always have something to say when they have no clue what goes on. Yeah. And now imagine, as I said before, both of us had no sleep. Right. And now we're stuck in an airport with a canceled flight, not knowing what to do, and just trying to figure it out. So that's annoying in itself. Right. Anyway, fast forward, the 2:10 flight, which was the original one we were on, got canceled, as I said. We finally get through customer service. It's about 3:20 after the flight's canceled, and they said, listen, we could put you on the 4:10 flight. Okay. So we're like, yeah, we get through. Right. Put us on the 4:10 flight now. Riggo shows me the check-in section on his phone. He's like, bro, they put us on the last 2 seats. Wow. So I'm like, thank you, God. Get to the gates now. A very pretty thing. Yo, the stewardess, A1. Bro. A1. The Toronto Pearson stewardess, A1. Or whatever flight attendants, they're very beautiful. But this one now, tried to give, we got to the gate, looking all cute as she is, and then we get to the gate now to show her our ID and stuff.
Right.
Bruh, she looks at us and she's like, I'm so sorry to be the one to give you the bad news.
Damn.
But this flight just canceled too. The weather's not easing up. Mind you, I'm talking hurricane weather. It's passing from Toronto towards Ottawa.
Right.
She said the 410 cancel now too. I said, way boy. And the guy already left.
Right. He already dipped.
So I call him back now to see what's up. He's like, bro, I'm already an hour out towards Ottawa. I'm not turning back.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, I get it. I just, I wanted to come to the car, but Riggo didn't, and I didn't want to leave Riggo.
Right.
So 410 canceled. Then the girl tells us, okay, well, what we're going to do is just move you on to the next flight, the third flight.
Right.
I say, all right, cool. Bro, we got a message on our phone. The next flight out is 7 a.m. the next day. And that's what we got pushed to.
Wow.
So Riggo again now. He calls his manager again. He's like, bro, I'm at my last shot with this. Like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
We call customer service. Customer service is telling Riggo, yo, you and your boy Busby or whatever are going to have to be on standby for the 6:10 flight. So I looked at Riggo. I'm like, bro, if we don't get that, like, this is not going to happen.
Right.
I'm like, last case resort, I go home, back to Pickering from Pearson, which is like 45 minutes, get my car, and then have to drive.
Right.
Even though I really don't want to.
Right.
And that's the part that people don't understand or see too. You know what I'm saying? Some people just like, yo. And somebody even had the nerve to tell me this. Like, yo, you have to be so bougie? You can't just drive? But again, you don't see it from our side of things.
Right.
I just played out last night. I got no sleep. You want me to go and drive 4.5 hours? People will say, yeah, it's a 3-hour drive. Yeah, if you're speeding.
Right.
And there's no traffic. Yeah, it might be 3 hours.
Right.
But this is a 4.5-hour drive with a stop. You know what I'm saying? And you expect me to do that off of no sleep the night before, get to Ottawa, and still be expected to perform at my best after the whole day of canceled flights and trying to reschedule in the airport. Like, don't talk about bougie. Are you like?
There was a lot of time wasted too.
For
no reason. Well, there was a reason, but I mean, you know what I'm saying?
But that's the problem though. We're looking like, yo, the skies are clear right now.
Yeah.
We're looking at the weather reports, nothing for the next few hours.
Right.
Only in Ottawa, but that's later at night.
Yeah.
So at that point, Riggo had let it get to its last straw, and he told his manager, yo, I don't know what to do. And the manager said, yo, I'm going to book you a car.
Right.
I'll give the receipts and stuff to the promoter to pay that. He'll get the reimbursement on the flights, and then you guys just drive.
Right.
So Riggo ended up putting his card, his license and stuff on a car.
Right.
We got the whip, started driving to Ottawa. Now imagine, we halfway there.
Right.
I get a phone call from the promoter. After we done tell him, yo, we're in the car, we're headed there.
Yeah.
I get a phone call from the promoter, Anthony G. Big up Anthony G. The man say, this is after the whole day that we've had already. The man say, yo, I'm gonna give you the bad news. There's a tree that fell down in the area by the venue on one of the power posts, and the venue has no power right now. They're anticipating that they might get power back by 10 p.m.
Right.
But as of right now, the party's canceled. Fam, Riggo and I looked at each other. I had on speaker.
Yeah.
We looked at each other like, you gotta be kidding me. And Riggo was just like, he wasn't even mad anymore. It was just to the point where he's just chuckling at that point. So I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, bro. He's like, well, yeah, we're working on it now. We're trying to get a new venue.
Right.
By the grace of God, this man got a new venue.
Okay.
It sucks because the venue was one that people don't really like out there in Ottawa.
Okay.
But it's something.
Right.
Otherwise, the party would have to be canceled.
Right.
So we driving now. And after all of that, Riggo just out of nowhere, the man stops, looks at me. He's like, yo, anybody ask me to travel with Busby again? I'm not doing that. So I start laughing. He's like, yo, and I'm going to sell it too. I'ma sell it too. When promoter asks me, yo, can you travel with Busby? I'ma say, nah, son. Nah. I'm not traveling with Busby. And he's like, yeah, and the promoter's gonna be like, what, Busby? Busby don't trouble nobody. What Busby do you? He's like, yo, I don't like him. From the time I met that man in the airport, yo, Busby done cancel off 7 flights. But next thing I have to rent car, go Ottawa, drive Ottawa, then party canceled. Oh my God, bro. That was one of the funniest things.
Say you're a bad luck.
Exactly. You try to point it like I'm bad luck. And I'm there thinking, how I know you not bad luck? You know what I'm saying? But it was just jokes. Boy, like I was crying and laughing.
Yeah.
And he's just there cracking up knowing like,
Yeah.
And then the next thing I know, Kevin Crown, because he was in Toronto going to Montreal.
Okay.
So I call him originally earlier in the day and I'm like, yo, bro, like, you want to just reach with us in the car?
Right.
And then take the car from there and go Montreal?
Right.
Because it might make sense with all these canceled flights. I don't want you, his flight was at 7 p.m.
Okay.
I'm like, I don't want you going on the flight, then you get canceled and you can't go get the bag.
Right.
So he's like, nah, bro, I think I'm just going to take my chances with the flight. And if I don't make the flight, it is what it is. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
True. All right, do your thing then. So me and Riggo driving. Next thing I get a phone call after all of that.
Right.
And it's Kevin. Kevin calls from the plane.
Okay.
Yo, bro, there's like 30 available seats on this plane.
Wow. To Montreal.
To Montreal. It's like, there's 30 available seats on the plane. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So he's there like, yeah, it's a good thing I trusted my instincts. I did not want to be there with y'all right now. So I'm like, okay, this guy. So I tell him the situation about Riggo. I'm like, this guy Riggo over here is telling me, yo, I'm never traveling with Busby again.
Right.
Yo, Kevin dying on the phone. I'm just there cracking up, and Riggo's in the back. Like, Busby has salt, dog. That Busby has salt. Him salt the whole trip.
Right.
But despite all of what I just said and all of that confusion, the headache, finally making it to Ottawa.
Right.
Bro, this is one of those parts of my story that like you just can't have imagined. Like you can't write these type of things.
Right.
You can't dream these type of things. These things just happen sometimes by happenstance. And you realize after the fact how lucky you were, despite all the BS,
Right.
how lucky I was to have been in that scenario.
Yeah.
Riggo's one of the top dogs in this industry.
Right.
So just being able to talk with him and pick his brain on certain stuff
Right.
is a valuable asset.
Right.
But when else would I have got an opportunity
Facts. Absolutely.
to be a lot, like literally beside Riggo for an entire day?
Right. Right.
Down to the point where we're in the car, bro.
Right.
And the man said, yo, one of the first things he said when he got in the whip, you got any mixes, bro?
Right.
Any mix you wanna, like you have?
Yeah.
So I go and pull up the SoundCloud, one of my mixes, and I just play that.
Right.
And you could like tell he's sitting there listening to every beat
Right.
and every mix and like just vibing out to the mix.
Right.
So I was like, yo, that's pretty cool. And then he asking me questions about certain stuff. He vibing. And then when the mix was finished, I was like, so what'd you think?
Yeah.
He's like, bro, you doing it.
Right.
I don't got to tell you nothing. Like, you did a good job. Like, that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
So I'm like, I appreciated that. Next thing now, he's like, okay, let me pull up one of my mixes. And I'm going to show you why I never really do mixes.
Right. Right.
Because this one mix took me forever to do. And I don't have the time like that to be doing these mixes. But if I did, this is what it would sound like. Bro, he played a mix. Wicked. Dub plates every other song. It sounded like original tracks.
Right. Yeah.
Blended properly. He made his own remixes for each song. I was thoroughly impressed.
Right.
So it got to the point where we're literally playing each other's mixes and listening to them on this drive and like talking about it and just, reasoning and stuff like that.
Right.
Then he eventually was like, all right, it's time to play the boss now.
Right.
So then he turned on our Private Ryan mix.
Right.
So we listened to Private Ryan now and just shooting, talking it up.
Right.
I'm letting him know some of my dreams. Like, yo, one day I want to be like that.
Right.
And better than that.
Right.
And I'm not even saying that as I think what he's done is of a certain level.
Right.
But you always want to aspire to be better than the best.
Right.
And I'm showing him like that's what it is with me, bro. And he's like, yeah, that's dope. And we really connected on a way different level
Right.
than we could have any other way. Any one of these destination gigs and stuff, I When am I gonna sit down with
Facts.
Riggo for 4 hours?
Yeah.
That was crazy to me. And the way that I talked and like figured stuff out from him, you know, even down to how he became Skinny's DJ.
Right.
That was a crazy story.
Okay.
I asked him. I'm like, bro, I always wanted to know, how did you become Skinny's DJ? And the way the man is calm and collected, he's just like, yo, I was just playing a party in St. Vincent. Skinny came and hailed me up.
Yeah.
I said, oh, shoot, well, go on.
Right.
You need a DJ? That's it.
Wow.
I said, are you kidding me? That's all it took? He's like, yeah, bro, that was it.
That's crazy.
Exactly. Like getting to hear those things, you know, it's amazing because it makes you realize sometimes it is just that easy.
Right.
You don't have to be going leaps and bounds with this stuff.
Right.
It just takes that one special moment and it could happen for you, right?
Right. True.
So anyway, we finally get to Montreal. We're seeing now Ottawa dealt with the storm bad.
Okay.
Bare parts of Ottawa, no power. Street lights is out. Traffic everywhere. But luckily our hotel, everything was okay.
Okay.
Get up to the room. Bro, this is one of the most beautiful rooms I've ever seen.
Okay.
I only got to spend an hour and a half enjoying it.
Damn.
And part of that was getting ready to go to the party. Anyway, take a quick lay down for an hour. Get ready in about half. Go to this party now. You get to the party, enough people. It's a good vibe.
Right.
I was happy for Anthony. But they were saying way more people would have come to the party
if it wasn't for the
venue change.
Okay.
But we had to do what we had to do.
Right.
I pull up. Judgment goes on to play. And even before that, another question I asked Riggo. And like I'm saying these stories because there's lessons to be learned in it.
Right.
Another thing I asked Riggo was, so bro, what happened? Like, how would you say you got to the point where you are now? A traveling tour DJ that hits every carnival.
Right.
Like, what steps did you take to get there? And Riggo literally just looked at me. He's like, bro, reach where? It's like, I ain't reached nowhere.
Right.
He's like, I'm working hard just like you. And that's the problem. Most people forget that.
Right.
And people think, yeah, well, they reach. Reach where?
Right.
He's like, look at people like Jay-Z and Drake and like, that's reached somewhere.
Right.
But they're still working hard where they are.
Facts.
So who are we to not continue to work hard?
Right.
And just hearing him say that, it made me realize, like, even though some people may look a certain way on the outside,
right,
that is a completely opposite to what they actually are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was just shocked to hear something like that from him. Because he seems like the type of guy where it's like, okay, nah, I done getting to all the carnivals, I'm good. But it was dope to hear that from him. We get in the club, and as I said, you know, he was talking about our mixes. Like, we were talking about each other's mixes on the drive. So we get in the club now, and Judgment's about to line up to play. And Riggo was like, yo, this is the first time I'm going to hear Judgment play in real life.
Okay.
Like, not online or anything.
Right.
So again, it shows, like, this guy's paying attention.
Right.
He's not just there for a quick paycheck and bounce.
Right.
And he even mingled with everybody. Like, he was a dope addition to the team.
Okay.
Judgment goes on to play. He kills it. I go on after Judgment. I kill it. Riggo comes on at the end, slaughters the place.
Right.
And, like, vibes, bro. And after that crazy day that we had, it was just like all of that came together just how it was supposed to.
Right.
Because even if more people came out, the other venue supposedly it was a space for like 700 people.
Wow.
And max, I'm assuming max, we would have probably got 250, 300.
Okay.
In the 700 people spot.
Right.
So it would have looked a lot scantier. Than a closed space with who was there.
Right.
And Bear Gal, bro. Bear Gal. I did not know Ottawa had a party crowd. I've been booked out there twice in my life before all of this.
Right.
Bro, flop events. I've never seen any videos from other DJs like, yo, Ottawa's lit right now.
Right.
Flop. But I go in this place now, Bear Gal. Enough of them knew who I was too. Which scared, like, that's the crazy part. And makes me remember how much Twitch and stuff was actually like
right
an impact. Like, there was people there that knew you too.
Yeah.
You know, crazy, bro. And we just held it down. By the time the night was done, we all looked at each other like, yo, we made it through.
Facts. That's all that matters.
All that matters. And I was so happy to just be done with the night, get to my bed, and bro, that was the best sleep I've ever had in my life.
Right.
But it was too short. Wake up now. Get ready to go to the boat cruise. So we go into the boat cruise the next day for the culture.
Right.
Promoter up here in Toronto.
Right.
Named K-Specs. He had for the culture. We get to the boat ride, and again, I'm not knowing what to expect.
Yeah.
But I hear the boat ride sold out.
Right.
Bro, it's this tiny boat. I don't even know how much people could fit on that boat. Probably 300 max as capacity.
Okay.
Bro, there would look like 400 people in that line.
Damn.
The line was stretched down the whole pier.
That line was long though.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the video.
And bare people, like, and again, bare yells. So I'm like, what's going on? Like, this is a popular weekend out here or something? So I go on the boat now, shellings once again. And again, like, we dealing with all of this stuff. We lack of sleep.
Yeah.
We tired, but we just are expected to perform at our best.
Right.
But made it happen. Big up Skits, up and gone. Myself and Fire Jones.
Okay.
So we held it down, but hear this now. After the day before and all the canceled flights,
Yeah.
I get a message about an hour before the boat ride from K-Specs, the promoter, and Skits,
Right.
who are flying from Toronto. K-Specs tells me on the text, yo, our flight just got canceled. I don't think we're making the boat.
Jeez.
Yo, what else could happen this weekend?
Right.
What else? So we get on the boat. The boat takes a little late to fully pack up
Right.
because everybody's waiting in line. But eventually, K-Specs and Skits just show up out of nowhere.
So wait, you guys were there at the boat before them?
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
And we left late, like,
Oh wow.
but because their flight was canceled,
Yeah.
and it took them a while to get there,
Right.
bro. And they finally get there. We hold it down, and now to go home, I have the option. K-Specs bought a flight for me,
Right.
so I could get back in time for your party.
Right.
So again, this is another reason why I wouldn't drive, because the boat ride gets back a certain time, and driving is 4.5 hours.
Right.
So by the time I would get to your event, it would be late.
Right.
Which is ultimately what happened. But I had the option of a flight or the car.
Right.
I was not having another airport, like,
Experience.
especially I'm seeing the sky. The sky's looking cloudy and stuff.
Right.
Say forget that. So I say, you know what, bro? Forget the flight.
Right.
At this point, my people, Judgment and CC, they're driving to Bonfyah.
Right.
I'll roll with them. At least I could knock back, like, the seat
Right.
and just sleep.
Right.
So which is what happened. And they end up going on the flight. We leave the boat 6:30. We show up to Bonfyah at 11:30, bro.
Right.
I knocked out for about 2 hours out of that drive. Tell me why I pull up with CC and Judgment, then Skits shows up about 10 minutes later.
Right.
Skits is there laughing at me, bro. It's like, yo, what happened to you? I'm like, we just got here. It's like, just got here? Bro, the flight landed in Toronto by 8:30.
Wow.
He's like, I had enough time to go home, slap up my gal, go check a next party, and then come here to Bonfyah. And I'm still getting here about the same time as you. I'm like, yo, this weekend is not going in my favor at all.
Your salt, boy.
Salt after salt. Bro. So lo and behold, Bonfyah. We there.
Right.
I go to plug in my laptop now. Some crazy looking guy with a face mask of white paint and a Lucian flag comes up to me like, yo, I need 10 best minutes of soca. The best 10 minutes you can give me. And I realize it's the fire breather. I'm like, okay, so you want what, power soca? Like, whatever, man. Just make sure it's the best 10 minutes of soca you have. So I draw for the biggest songs for this man's performance. Everybody's there with their cell phones, videotaping the man breathing fire and whatnot. So I say, okay, I do a 10-minute set. You doing his dance and putting the marshmallow in his mouth, whatever. Pause. What is it? Oh, man.
I don't know.
I'm tired. I'm trying my best right now. But he put the marshmallow in his mouth, and then he was breathing the fire, and then he walks away. So I'm like, all right, now it's time to turn up.
Right.
So I draw for a couple more songs and get the party lit.
Right.
The man start coming back now. He just had to go to the back to get something. I see him start walking back, saying, no, move them back. Bro, I just cleared the whole dance floor for you.
Right,
You
right.
did your thing. You're gone now. Everybody's back on the dance floor. Now you want me to clear them again?
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm just like, so many bad things are happened to me this weekend.
Just let it be.
Just let it be. So I literally on the microphone like, oh, shoot, he's not done. Guys, get back. Go back where you are. He has a whole next show now for another 10 minutes. So I say, all right, cool. Let me help him out, do the show. Help,
Right.
He does the show. Then he's now done.
Right.
I'm like, all right, thank God. Now I could turn up.
Right.
So I go draw for more tune now. Turn up the place. All of a sudden I hear friggin' fireworks go off in the middle of me getting the crowd back in action. What does everybody do? Leave the venue to go outside and look at the fireworks. I was at that point, I was about to just unplug and be like, yo, Judgment, go on and do your thing, dog. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was my weekend. And man like Jake, you want me to go first or ride the next day? You want me to go? No, dog. I'm going to my bed. Catch me Tuesday after I'm waking up and rested. Oh, man. That was one hell of a weekend, man.
Okay.
But one I'll never forget.
Right.
And that connection with Riggo was one of them things where it's like you can't write stuff like that. You can't plan stuff like that. Those things just happen, and the luck of the draw with that kind of stuff. I was never expecting waking up that day. I would have had to deal with 3 cancel flights and drive to Ottawa with Riggo.
Right.
Crazy. So, big up to Riggo, big up to Energy Squad, Anthony G. Thank you so much for, your hospitality, and big up to him, man, because I've been in that scenario many a times.
Right.
I don't know if you've ever been in a scenario where, like, it's down to the wire and your party might be canceled. Yeah. I've been in that a couple of times in my time. And that's a stressful thing to deal with. Yeah.
Must be.
Especially, like, the more numbers that you have, like, more ticket sales.
Right.
You have all these people you're about to disappoint.
Right.
And you're just trying everything in your power for that not to happen.
Right.
So, but he held it through. He did what he had to do, and I commend him for that.
Okay.
And on top of that, he's a Montreal promoter.
Right. And he's doing it in Ottawa. Right.
So beforehand, I was just like, honestly, bro, like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
If you're from Montreal, your main crowd is in Montreal, so
Right.
why not just... But after the fact now, he explained it to me. He's like, bro, honestly, Montreal is 2 dog eat dog. And there was 2 parties that night in Montreal.
Oh, wow.
So had I done it there,
Right.
I might have got a bit less of a crowd.
Right.
Whereas in Ottawa now, I at least have more to play with.
Right.
So I'm like, you know what? You know what you're doing over here, I guess.
True.
But there's certain things, he could have adjusted that I think would have made a lot more sense.
Right.
And I only want to see him win. I've been messing with him for over 10 years now.
Yeah, long time.
Way too long. So big up Anthony and the Energy Squad nonetheless. My bro Judgment, we held it down once again. All the gigs, it was crazy. And
Good, man.
respect to you. Thank you for having me for Bonfyah.
Yeah, man. No worries, man.
And now today, as I said, we come in here lit from a boat ride. We did AWOL. We did AWOL today. I don't know why we did AWOL today. But if I may share this story with you guys.
Oh, gosh.
I'm talking to JKD Wednesday. We went to lunch Wednesday. This boat ride is Thursday morning, right? So I was sitting at lunch with JKD, and I'm like, yo, bro, you're reaching the boat ride tomorrow. Like, Willard's reaching, you're reaching. JKD said, nah, bro, I can't. I can't do it. So what do you mean you can't? I'm sure you could figure it. Nah, bro. I got the kids, Tasha, work too. I can't take off work. Say, all right, bro. All right. And then he starts talking a whole bag of mess about other reasons why he don't want to go on the boat ride. So I leave it alone. I say, you know what? All right, bro, cool. But let me tell you something. After everything that you just told me, if I see you on this boat ride tomorrow, I'm going to be talking so much after I see you. Lo and behold, I wake up Thursday morning, 9:15, get myself ready, go over to Willard's house because we're taking one car down. So Willard, go into Willard's place now. I see his brother Willard, and I say, yo, what up, Willard? Why I turn my head around the corner and see JKD smiling on the couch, just watching me. I said, yo, what are you doing here? And the funniest part was that today morning,
Yeah.
I messaged this guy as a joke, like, yo, I'm outside your crib. Get your stuff together. Let's go. We going on this boat ride. He messaged me back saying, nah, I can't, bro. I can't. Meanwhile, he's sitting at Willard's house waiting to surprise. I'm like, this guy. So he on the boat ride today. It was another one of those days, man.
It was one of those days where we were just like, bottle? Sure.
Yeah. We end up getting a bottle on a Thursday morning. Yo, people on the boat were like, y'all ain't wasting no time, huh? Y'all straight to the point.
Facts.
Thursday morning in the week. And it's not even like this is a long weekend.
It's a regular day.
It's a regular day. So I say, all right, cool. We deal with the boat ride. It was just a cool vibes and everybody enjoyed themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Went back home and now we're here to this podcast.
Yes, sir.
And with that being said, we'll call out a couple things, say a couple quick talking points, and then end the day. Because I am too tired. And we have nothing prepared. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Today was kind of story time, But sometimes it's good to have those.
You go to Island Mix. Stop lying, bro.
This guy said I'm going to Island Mix. Yo, Skippy, he's at Delhi. Remember he said this, huh? No Island Mix. If he shows up at Island Mix tonight, I promise you, I'm going to post it on social media and call him waste for being at Island Mix tonight.
I'm going to my bed still.
Remember that, huh? Yeah, Skippy, hold him to that. Can you, clip this up? Please, thank you. But yeah, man, just a quick reminder, guys, make sure and hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share, all that good stuff.
Right.
Make sure to follow us on all platforms we're showing our show on: YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Any interns that would like to help with the program, we would appreciate it. The show's only getting better and better. The views are going up.
Yep.
I appreciate everybody that continuously, listens to the show, shares the show, all that good stuff.
Did you give away a gift card last week?
No, I'm not gonna lie. I forgot all about that. Listen, people, I'm trying, all right? There's a lot going on. And I'm drunk right now. It comes with the job. I'm trying. At least y'all got a pack. Hear me. That's some entitled. At least y'all got this money. Yeah. Jesus. Facts. Yeah, bro. Screw it. Let's just end there. I don't got nothing this week.
So you're not gonna give nobody nothing?
No,
give somebody something.
What I need?
I don't know. It's right here, guys.
Might I put bend down?
You're so dumb.
Take me off this microphone, cuz. That's it there. I can't be here. Nah. But anyway, people, yeah, honestly, I ain't got much for you, honestly. I had a crazy story, That's
Are you gonna share it or are you gonna?
No, that one.
Oh, that was. Oh, okay.
My crazy week in the auto.
Okay.
But there were a lot of gems within that story.
Okay, yes,
and that was the main reason I wanted to come here and tell that.
Right.
And understand too, this is what I can share with you guys.
right.
On this podcast. There's so much more that happened that I can't share.
Right.
And just being there to witness these things, like that too was another step in my career where I learned a lot.
Right.
And another crazy part of it too, as much as people want to constantly point the finger to talent and say they're a certain type of way, y'all got to understand it's a whole different ballpark with us.
Right.
There's way more things to consider. And it just is what it is.
Right.
Instead of calling somebody a certain something, understand why they might be like that or why they need to be like that.
Right. How they got there.
Yeah. Because when he said those things about the driver, I was like, facts.
Right.
I didn't even think about it like that.
Right.
I'm just trying to get to Ottawa. But, you find out like, yeah, that's facts. Right. What if I get in this car, it's somebody doing 200 on the highway.
Right.
And then flip the car.
Right.
There's no coming back from that.
Right.
Here's how we'll end the show. And I don't like to end it like this. I don't even know why I am saying this. But we got to show, our condolences to all those elementary kids and teachers that lost their life in the act of terrorism in the States. I can't remember the specifics. Was it Texas or Buffalo?
It was Texas.
Texas. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, man.
And that's a tragic situation to once again see. And like a week after
the Buffalo
incident.
Right.
And this is kids now.
Kids now, yeah.
Y'all are doing way too much. And the coward killed his grandma or something before.
Yeah.
Yo, before you do any of that, if you're listening, whoever you are, the crazy guy out there, do it to yourself first before you do it to anybody else.
I'll just say this: like mental health is it's a growing, I would say, pandemic across the world, especially in the States. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And there's certain areas in the States that it's not taken seriously. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, like kids get bullied every day. Yeah. Every day. You know what I'm saying? And there's things in other parts of the world that prevent bullying from happening. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that state of Texas, something about that state of Texas, bro. Like, there's just like pro guns, pro everything. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And to have a kid how does he have access to guns? Period. Let alone bring it to school and start shooting up people. It's just sad, and the government. I don't know what they're doing. Like, we put these guys in power, and they're not doing nothing about it.
It just seems like you see a lot of the memes that get posted. It honestly just seems like a cycle over and over again.
It is, bro. It is a cycle.
Something goes up. Oh, we got to send out our
prayers. Right.
It falls to the wayside.
Yeah, we forget about it.
Whoever did it
right.
gets a lesser charge than what they should have.
Right.
Riots, and then all back in the same rotation.
Right.
And I don't think it's any coincidence that this happened in Buffalo last week with the black people in the grocery.
Yeah.
And it's the 2-year anniversary of George Floyd.
Yeah.
And now these kids, guys. Kids. Just imagine it was yours.
Right.
Like imagine what those parents are dealing with right now. The families. It's tragic, and we gotta, at least send our prayers and condolences.
And I just read too, one of the teachers.
Yeah, I saw that.
One of the teachers lost. Well, she lost her life due to the shooting.
Yeah.
The husband died from a heart attack. So now their kids are without parents.
So sad, man.
Yeah.
It's so sad. I'm fed up. I'm disgusted. And it makes me question, do I even want to go to the States sometimes?
Right.
I know these are once in a blue moon type situations, but still.
Right.
That shouldn't even be a concern of mine.
Right.
That my kid is going to school, an elementary school, and might get shot. And this brings us back to one of the previous podcasts I said before. Yo, why are banks heavily guarded with people with guns?
Facts.
Banks, your money is protected with people with guns.
Right.
Your money's safe.
Right.
Why aren't our kids protected with that same courtesy?
Right.
It's BS, man.
Yeah.
Like, we wait till it's too late. We wait till 18 people are dead
to do something.
And for the cops to stop the guy at 18. That should be stopped from the time the man pulls out a gun.
Right.
That man should not be able to enter a school, period, with a gun.
Exactly.
All these people out here that are looking for jobs, that should be an available job for somebody who is passionate about something like that.
Right.
Or that could fill those shoes.
Right.
There's bare people, I'm sure, if their pay was right, would do that.
Right.
Stand there with a gun at a school and make sure the kids are safe. But it's tragic. I hate that it's crazy. Like, somebody's crazy that you can't prevent. That is usually the root cause of all of this.
Yeah.
And it's sad, man. Condolences go out to all those families, all the kids. And last but not least, the DJ fraternity lost somebody as well this past week. Gotta say condolences to the Miami Dream Team. Steely back from the Miami Dream Team passed away. I never got a definitive answer as to why. But from what I gather, just, hearing bits and pieces from different people, was health complications, complications with weight. I think he had a heart attack and he just couldn't bounce back from that.
Right.
And that's, to be honest, that scared the daylights out of me.
Yep.
Because I've been dealing with something like, again, after the whole weekend that you guys just heard, nobody would know, but if I didn't tell them, but I was dealing with abdominal pains for the entire weekend and the prior week to that.
Right.
And I couldn't sleep through the nights. If I turn a certain way, it flares up because it's inflamed.
Right.
So I had to go get checked at the doctor to see what was up. And I thought it was because I was eating nonsense.
Right.
And I finally reached to a point where like my body's saying, yo, stop it.
Right.
But coming to find out, it was like an infection I had in my abdominal area.
Mm-hmm.
So they got that from a urine sample.
Okay.
So all that they needed to do was prescribe me some antibiotics. Within 5 days, it'll clear up.
Right.
So that's another thing. I have to remember I can't drink this weekend because I have to take the antibiotics starting tomorrow. But, you know, that happened to me. So I'm there worrying about myself. I have to go doctor's office now and think about my health.
Right.
When I'm like, I should have just been thinking about this from before.
Right.
I didn't have to reach that point. Luckily, I don't think the two were related. But like those things happen. And while it was happening, I'm stressing, thinking to myself, well, what worse could happen? Like maybe that could happen, a heart attack.
Right, exactly.
I don't know. So I got to get my stuff in order.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I see in the Team Soca group yesterday morning, Steely Black passed away due to a heart attack. I'm like, bruh. And it's facts. Like, people don't come back from this stuff.
Yeah.
You know? Like, one of the days this past weekend, too, I visited one of the DJs in the industry up here.
Right.
First time meeting this guy.
Okay.
But he was telling me, yo, I don't know if I was with Judgment at the time.
Okay.
And he's cool with Judgment. He's like, I don't know if Judgment told you, but I had a heart attack in November. And he's like an older guy, like looks 50s, early 50s, and wife and kids and all that. And he's like, yeah, I had a heart attack in November. I had to stop drinking because of that. I think he was a big drinker before that. And so it's scary because these things are realities, you know, and it could be at our doorstep, and we got to make the change to do that.
Yeah.
So right before I got the stomach pains, no, even during, I think while I had it, I was in the gym with Skippy. But at the time, my abdominal pains wasn't as bad.
Right.
And then it started to gradually flare up.
Right.
So now that I'm back in a position where I could do that stuff again, getting back into it and giving it a shot. Because, you know, those type of weekends that you don't expect with all the craziness, you need that energy to push through. And it's crazy because I ended up doing that for all the parties. Okay. As tired as I was, as much as I just wanted to sleep somewhere, just sit and not move, not do anything, you still have to turn it on, like turn on the light switch, and it's action time, show time. And I killed the parties. I did what I was there to do. So enough respect to all the promoters that had me out in Ottawa. Enough respect to you. Yeah, man. It was a wicked weekend. Victoria Day, long weekend in the 6th. And we look forward to seeing y'all at the parties to come.
Yes, sir.
All right. So it's been another episode of the People's Podcast, and we out.
Peace.